The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Presidential Communications Operations Office is again under fire for hiring multiple service contract employees. In today's hearing, senators questioned the need to hire temporary workers while some regular posts remain unfilled. PCOO Undersecretary Christian Ablan told lawmakers that they plan to absorb some of these workers for permanent positions by 2022. Meanwhile, Kat De Castro, the general manager of state-run PTV4, vowed to practice editorial independence. This is in response to a question about one of their hosts who was allegedly dismissed for being critical about press freedom.
Isa po sa mga isinusulong namin sa PTV po ay ang pag-implement po ng People's Broadcasting Corporation, wherein this one will be very independent in terms of editorial decisions. Isa rin po yan sa mga gusto ko talagang mangyari sa PTV, magkaroon po talaga ng editorial independence and at the same time, alagaan din po syempre ang press freedom.
In other news, Pharmally Pharmaceutical Director Lincoln Ong has backed out of an executive session with senators. This is still regarding the government's procurement of COVID-19 supplies with the company. In the letter addressed to the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, Ong said he was advised by his counsel, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, to reject the invitation to attend the executive session. Topacio said some of the committee members had been unfair to Ong throughout the inquiry. Senate President Tito Soto hit back at Ong's camp, telling them not to threaten the chamber. The committee resumes the investigation on Thursday. And former Ocho Derecho candidate Samira Gutoc and entrepreneur and radio host Carl Balita have joined Aksyon Demokratiko's 2022 senatorial slate. Gutoc and Balita took their oaths before Aksyon Party President and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno this afternoon. Gutoc, a civic leader in Marawi, joined the opposition's Ocho Derecho in the 2019 midterm elections but failed to secure a seat. Balita, who is a radio host, founded several companies including the Carl Balita Review Center. And more establishments are expected to reopen once Metro Manila shifts to Alert Level 3. In today's palace briefing, Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez said other personal care services such as spas, cosmetic clinics, tanning and tattoo salons will be allowed under Alert Level 3. He also said the economy may see a return of some 30 billion pesos in wages per week under a downgraded alert level status. However, the palace says there is still not enough data backing the likelihood of an easing to Alert Level 3. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Over in Surftown, La Union, instructors are continuing to feel the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on their business. Ryan Ang with their stories.
Surf instructor Lemon used to be busy teaching tourists how to surf in San Juan, La Union prior to the pandemic. That is why he can't help but feel sad every time he remembers the times when they were flocked by tourists. Clients in La Union have decreased significantly after strict quarantine restrictions were placed in Metro Manila. This is where 80% of their clients come from.
Parang namimiss mo yun na, ate, ganun yung kwan, ang saya. Parang na magtuturo ka, na ikaw yung pinupuntahan. Pero ngayon, wala na.
More than 140 instructors have been affected by the pandemic. They say teaching surfing under a new normal is no longer the same. After all, clients and instructors must follow social distancing protocols.
Hirap mag-adjust talaga kasi hindi mo na, ngayon, pag nagturo ka, uy, huwag kang lumapit sa kanya, parang gano'n. Yung parang, yung estudyante mo, kailangan mo na ako, hindi na kagaya natin na pagkatapos banding kayo, usap-usap muna kayo sa dagat. Ngayon, hindi na eh. O sige, next time ulit, yung parang gano'n na lang.
According to the Provincial Tourism Office, the number of tourists has increased compared to last year, from 13,000 in the first semester of 2020 to more than 26,000 in the first semester of 2021 alone. However, this is still far from the usual numbers before the pandemic, which had reached 600,000 a year. Authorities say they will continue to be strict in inspecting requirements from those coming from other provinces and regions.
Pagdating sa border, hindi complete ang requirements, they are definitely denied entry. So, yun, nasasayangan tayo sa market na yun eh. But of course, kailangan nating balansehin ang health and safety and of course, our efforts for recovery as well.
But for tourists, this is something they don't mind completing as it's worth the effort.
Lockdown tayo ng matagal. So for me, worth it nang punta dito as long as safe. Safe tayo and fully vaccinated.
For News 5, Ryan Ang, We Are One News.
In the recent UN General Assembly, African and South American leaders called out vaccine inequity. They say global herd immunity is not only the key to recovery, but also a, quote, moral duty. Let's listen to this Bloomberg Quick Take. On.
Despite our placing the vaccine program high on the list of mitigation measures, Zambia has only managed to vaccinate a mere 3% of its population. This is against the country's target of vaccinating 70% of the eligible population by the third quarter 2022. This clearly highlights the inequitable access to vaccines developing countries, especially that more than 2 billion vaccines have been administered worldwide. Mr. President, it is fair to state that recovery from the pandemic hinges upon mass vaccinations before considering other reforms or facilities that tend to fail when countries lock down their economies.
Hubo una carrera contra el tiempo para desarrollar las vacunas. Se hizo a una velocidad récord. Y ojo que no quiero hablar hoy aquí de las patentes ni de las fórmulas. Quiero hablar del acceso a las mismas. Y ha habido un suministro deficitario en las vacunas. Deficitario y no equitativo. Los países tuvimos que salir a comprar cada uno por su lado. ¿Y por qué creo importante hacer hincapié en esto? Porque el proceso de vacunación todos sabemos que es vital para recuperar la libertad en nuestros países.
Convoco a la comunidad internacional a fortalecer el multilateralismo en materia de salud y avanzar en la equidad para la distribución de las vacunas. Señores delegados, este es nuestro deber moral. Si se mantienen atrasos en la distribución equitativa de vacunas para todas las naciones, nos exponemos como humanidad a que nuevas variantes puedan atacarnos con mayor ferocidad. La inmunidad global requiere de la solidaridad para que no exista acaparamiento de unos frente a las necesidades de otros. Son inauditas. Mientras que
Let's take a quick look at today's other top stories. PNP Chief Guillermo Elizar approved the designation of Police Major General Alexander Sampaga as the new director of the PNP Academy. This is after the alleged hazing death of Cadet 3rd Class George Carl Magsayo by another cadet who is now detained at a local police station. A criminal case was filed earlier today. Pharmally executive Crizel Mago has been refusing to answer the Senate's call after giving her testimony on the distribution of so-called expired and substandard face shields. Senate Blue Ribbon Chairman Richard Gordon has sought help from the National Bureau of Investigation to locate Mago. Miss Universe Philippines 2021 wrapped up its preliminary competition, which was held at the Clark International Airport. The 28 candidates sizzled and strutted down the runway, wearing their swimsuits and evening gowns. The coronation for this year's Miss Universe Philippines will be on September 30 in Panglao, Bohol. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Shawn Yao. We are One News.